back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, Daniel?
I'm doing pretty good, getting pretty amped on the college playoffs,
Yeah,
starting to
it's been fun.
earmark some dudes for rookie season. But yeah, it's just been kind of a crazy ride. You expect like a tighter competition level at the playoff time, but so far it's been really only like one or two close games. So,
Yeah,
and the
but
Hoosiers knocking it out of the park.
new Hoosiers are crushing it, and yeah, only a couple close games, but crazy upsets already with Ohio State and
Oh my
Georgia
God.
getting taken out. That's freaking wild. So hopefully
Yeah.
you've been paying attention to the guys we were talking about, but today we're actually going to talk about this past year's class because the season is effectively over for fantasy, unless you're a heathen that plays your championship in week 18. Um, but we are going to kind of just roll through these rookies real quick, see how they did, see who beat their expectations, see who fell short, and see who kind of hit right there in the middle. Is that about right?
I think so. Yeah, I just got a little reflection, see if
Mm.
we think these guys can ever come a slow start or what the deal is. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, I can we can talk about the total points for real
Okay.
quick. And just kind of go through the top 10 and then go from there, I guess. So in terms of rookies, after being lambasted all year for not having a very good season, Ashton Genty finishes number one in points, in total points. For rookies, Jackson Dart sitting at number two at 219, which is pretty impressive, considering he only played 13 games. Should have
Right.
started him in the D League Championship. Fuck
Ouch.
you, Matt Stafford. RJ Harvey sneaks in at number three in total points. Now, this is PPR,
Yep.
for the record. And then Tetaroa McMillan coming in at number four with 200 and basically 201 points. Emeka Ibuka coming in after that. After the hot start to the season, he kind of faded off towards the end of the year. Travion Henderson has a decent little finish to his year at six. Harold Fannin Jr. at number seven and beating out Tyler Warren for the top 10 in spot by one. Warren sitting there at eight. Cam Ward coming in at nine, not really having very good points per game for a QB, but still okay to see. And then Quinshon Judkins, after starting late, comes in and crushes it to round out the top 10 for rookies in PPR.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty exciting. This year in particular has felt like, I don't know, maybe the stud level is kind of low,
Mm,
and the consistency may be low, but that's just how it felt. I think that, looking at these names and having some of these guys on some rosters, it feels pretty exciting to have them.
hmm
But I don't know. I just was looking for like, I don't know. There's no crazy league winning consistency as far as like start to finish. Like Henderson had some great games. Emeka was lightning there for like 4 week stretch.
hmm
But then to see RJ Harvey as number three, and that was a slow burn, and he
Yeah.
really took over after the Dobbins injury. But kind of surprising to reflect. Harold Fanning was obviously, something we should have saw coming. There's always one guy
hmm
where we outfoxed the draft capital on it. But
Yeah.
and then Judkins obviously had some great games. And so I don't know. For me, it just felt like I'd love to see these guys like peak and keep the consistency going because there's definitely some superstars in the making right here. But I don't know, man. I think like ironclad rookie years, it's been kind of a weird one, but I'm glad to see Genty come out on top. And
Yeah.
obviously, I think Jackson Dart is stud for sure. So
hmm
give it some time.
Nah, absolutely. And the Genty thing, like, I think if he's on a better team next year, obviously he'll still be on the Raiders, but if the team around him gets better, I think he'll look more like the guy. But I mean, it was just the usage for him. Like, he just was constantly getting the ball. a lot of catches for him as well, which really helped him kind of solidify that number one, even if it wasn't as spicy or as fun as say Bijan. Well, even Bijan people were upset
Bijan, yeah,
about.
he had a
So
slow start. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I'm not really worried about Genty. But yeah, there are guys, and then a couple guys that probably would have been in here. I want to talk about Cam Scadaboo and Amarian Hampton had they not gotten hurt. They were second and third in points per game as far as all the rookies go. So they would have been up here, and it probably would have looked a little juicier if they had made the top 10. But I look at a guy like Henderson for
Yep.
next year, and then hopefully the injury for um, Quinton Judkins isn't that hard for him to get over because I think those two could take a leap into superstardom as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably kind of where I'm at, just like projecting and just a little bit of spice. Just for like full comparison, if you look at the last 5 years, rookie PPR rankings, Genty's 17th, and that does include let's see, four quarterbacks. So,
Mm.
give him a comparison against Najee, it's about a 70 point deficit. So
Oh wow.
little bit, even Brian Thomas was, outscoring him by about 50 as compared to last year. So just kind of a weird rookie. A lot of spice, but not a lot of fire. I don't know what that means, but you know what I'm saying. Don't
No,
burn your
I hear
tongue on
you.
that.
So I'm not gonna run through. I have like a list of 47 guys, and Caleb Johnson didn't even make it because he was that bad.
Ouch.
So I'm not gonna run through all these guys, but I did want to throw out some random names that either did well or I was a little bit less enthused about. Travis Hunter obviously gets hurt, but he was only averaging 9 points per game anyway. So it's not like he was going crazy. Orlando Gadsden had like a 3 week period where he looked like the next superstar tight end, and then he kind of cooled off.
Yeah.
Opposite for Colston Loveland, who started off super, super quiet and then really, really took the scene later on, ended up getting 9.3 points per game. But I imagine if you average the last few weeks, it's probably higher than that. Kyle Monungai, a guy that we did not really like,
No.
came out and was doing all right, especially towards the end of the year. Honestly, just this section could be Bears rookies because Luther Burden also coming alive here late. The flip side to that, Matthew Golden, a guy I loved, a guy you liked quite a bit as well, only averaging 5.2 points per game to end the season. He's like the 31st ranked rookie, which is terrible. I still have faith in him going forward, but the Packers offense is a little suspect when it comes to feeding these wide receivers. Jack Besh, another wide receiver that let me down, but Kyle Williams is probably the guy because he got so much heat coming out after the draft and into these rookie drafts. Everyone was all over this as the sleeper pick, and he ends up averaging just 3 points per game and doesn't really do a lot on a team that didn't have crazy weapons.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked with the Kyle Williams turnout as well because I think, yeah, he was like slated as a sleeper, had pretty good draft capital, and then we just didn't expect things to go the way they did.
Hmm.
Keyshawn Butte is coming out here and just embarrassing us for doubting him, and Stephon will never quit. So this whole team is kind of just taken off, and Kyle Williams is just out there getting a couple of rotations to give a guy a breather. So
Hmm.
hopefully he comes on next year because I feel like he's got a lot of smoke. But when a team comes out that successful, you always kind of wonder, if they're trusting on the youngsters. And then Vrabel hasn't really smoked us with the wide receiver talent coming out the gate when he was at Tennessee. So
That's
I don't
true.
know. It's a little iffy, but I think there's still hope for him. But you're right, that was a little shocking.
Yeah, for sure. A guy who did honestly after the Texans. Sorry, Jaden Higgins is an interesting guy to me
Yeah.
because I thought it's like he kind of did right where you would almost expect him to do as a rookie, but better than some of these other better than Kyle Williams, better than Trey Harris, better than Matthew Golden, Pat Bryant, Isaac Tisslaw. but not like groundbreaking. But I still see a leap for him next year. I just felt like the Texans really didn't start finding their footing until later, and I think Jaden Higgins was kind of a part of that, just getting his rotational pieces.
Yeah, he's another guy that definitely has a lot of potential. I don't know what the Texans what to really say as far as the wide receiver room goes. There was like some Hutchinson moments and they
Uh-huh.
were still trying to chase Kirk a little bit, but I think once it settles in and solidifies, I think we saw these past couple weeks that they're trying to get the younger guys involved. So
Hmm.
you're right, there's a ton of potential. But to see him come out and be fifth in this class, you know, it's not horribly disappointing as far as that like ranking. I think that's about where he was being drafted, but it was definitely disappointing that we didn't see a little more excitement with the draft capital in the wide open wide receiver room behind Nico.
Yeah, for sure. They, yeah, it was kind of just strange. It felt like he would gain some traction and then go away. But still, I mean, averaging 7.5 points per game isn't a death sentence for a rookie season, especially with like Houston's offense wasn't really going, and they're still not really going, but they
Right.
weren't going super far early on. And then kind of Woody Marks, when we're talking about Houston. He was an interesting guy to watch because it was like consistent, but just not very. It was hardly ever like crazy good. He had like one game where he went off, and then it was always like these 10 point games. But that helped a lot of people. I mean, I know I used him personally. I don't know if you ever used him in Fresh Duds after we traded.
I don't think
Uh,
so.
but it was a good little thing, but just kind of like the Texans as a whole where it was fairly like middling on offense, but not something to sneeze at. I'm just worried that does he get replaced? He's already 24. Like, are we looking at like another Tyler Algier situation
Yeah.
or something like that?
Well, I mean, we've kind of been talking. This is like the Texans model, where it was, they had Damian Pierce there, and then they had, oh, shoot, I'm gonna trip up on remembering all the Texans running backs, but they've kind of been just like cycling through young guys, with little pop years, and then Mixon solidified it. And then now Woody Marks comes in, and as good as he's done, I don't think that they'll be satisfied with him as a like a bell cow, and I don't think they're really trying to run that style of bell cow running back anyway. So I think, yeah, Algier is probably an upside for Woody Marks because, like you're saying, he had a nice season, but it wasn't enough to scare away
Yeah.
future draft capital at that position or some free agency.
He's an interesting guy to me. He's like a guy that I might dangle in the trade market just to see if somebody expects him to do better, expects him to take that lead role. But you almost got to do that before the draft, like before the NFL draft,
Hmm.
in case the Texans take a third round running back or something crazy like that. So that might be something I do soon.
Okay, well, I'll be looking to avoid that. You already traded him to me in one league, so um, gosh, I'm having a lot of fun in that league, just messing around. But dude, I don't know. I keep going back to some of these other guys. Like, what do you think of the Titans duo of wide receivers? Um, you
Well,
got, yeah, go ahead.
Io Manor and DK, yeah.
Yep.
So again, it was like this weird that their presence was definitely known, especially like, I saw some crazy stat that like if you awarded points for kick return yardage,
Oh
DK would
no,
have been like the most valuable player in in the league,
no, you can't
uh
do that.
setting all-purpose yard rookie records. So he obviously deserves to be on the field, but it's just like this anemic Titans offense made it hard to really figure out what was going on. Because to me, Iron Manor and DK both proved that they deserve to play in the NFL. They deserve to be NFL wide receivers. But it's just like nothing really was easy for the Titans. It was all dink and dunk. I mean, I know Ward took some shots, but it was just like everything was very hard for them to do.
Right.
But I'm still intrigued. Like they're two guys that their trade value um presumably isn't very high or didn't go up at all. So I'm not looking to get out of them, but I don't think I would drop them either because they did enough. I mean, Isle Manor was 7.2 points per game. DK was seven and
Mhm.
a half points per game. Um, and really, like they're the most gonna be the most targeted guys unless the Titans bring in somebody because I feel like Calvin Ridley's gone,
Uh-huh.
and potentially more, and they're gonna have to focus on the offensive line to give Cam Ward any help whatsoever. So presumably you got one more year of them building chemistry with Ward. So I'm intrigued by them. I mean Iron Manor was kind of I know we were high on him initially and then
Yeah,
kind of
no, we
cooled
were.
off.
Hmm.
But he kind of did exactly what we thought he was do, just a steady wide receiver two-ish presence. That if this offense gets up and going, he could get up and going and scoring a little more points. But they kind of need like a true alpha, and I don't know if they get it this year.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. I'm just trying to unravel the same mystery because, yeah, they finished what fourth and sixth as far as wide receivers in this class. Yet they were
Hmm.
drafted at like 14th
Yeah,
for Io
which is
Manor and
great.
24th for
Yeah,
DK. Right, and so you're like, okay, they're performing well in comparison, but then neither of them got over 80 targets, and you're like, well, shit, just because they didn't outperform, Golden or even Pat Bryant,
hmm,
guys like that, it's kind of makes me just wonder like how we should compare like a Jack Besh against these guys that we liked initially that just didn't do anything their rookie year that have a potential to carve out probably a more dynamic role than what we're seeing out of this pair of Tennessee wide receivers. So that's kind of why I'm just like mystery. I feel like there's action to be had in the off season by like buying some of these guys low and
for sure.
projecting, but just
Hmm.
putting it all together. Right now, it's kind of tripping me up. So
I think, yeah, speaking of buying people low and project them going forward, I think Matthew Golden is obviously one I'm going to pound the table for,
for
but
sure.
it's not for no reason. Obviously, all the Packer stuff around me might give it away, but if you look at separation statistics, he's like in the top three of every kind of separation statistic you can find, like average separation, average like yard separation. So he's there. It just like didn't really seem to work for some reason. I think going forward, I mean, we've seen these rookies not always pop and they can come in live. So he's one I would buy low for sure. Trey Harris
Trey.
is another guy because I mean the writing was on the wall when they brought in Keenan Allen.
Hmm.
It was like, oh, all of a sudden that role is set. They've got McConkey, they've got Keenan Allen, and then Oronde Gadsden as well. So Trey Harris never really found some running room. So I think him being a buy low, if somebody kind of just is over it, and then also like a Jalen Noel.
Yeah.
I think he will pop a little more. We saw his explosiveness on the field during kick returns and stuff like that. And I think
Hmm.
these like Christian Kirks and Tank Dells kind of get out of the way. And hopefully the Texans offense can figure it out a little more. But even that, he's a little difficult because he still ends up as the wide receiver three there at best with Higgins and uh, Collins.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like that. I was immediately thinking of Harris right
Hmm.
there. And then yeah, Noel definitely fits into that same conversation. I think another guy that I would be shading that way is Horton,
Oh
who's
yeah,
still,
Torrey Horton.
yeah. So I mean, only 22 targets, but he had 5 scores. And that whole offense kind of felt like it was extremely funneled between with JSN being the all-star, which makes sense. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I do think Shaheed offers a lot of overlap a little bit with what Horton has going on, but I think the two of them could probably move forward. I don't see a big future for Cooper Cup, so
Yeah.
I think Horton's like worth whatever the cost is to stash him right now. But he's definitely another rookie that had little pops here and there that I'd like to see what he has in the future.
No, I'm with you. I was kind of banging that drum earlier this year. I like what he's doing, and I think they can pair him really well with JSN. And like you said, Shaheed and Horton kind of fill similar roles, but Shaheed is definitely more of a gadget guy, whereas I see Horton like he's definitely got the speed, but he's more of like an outside, wide receiver two type. So
Hmm.
I like that three set with Horton and Shaheed and JSN. I think it'll be really strong. You just deal with the problem of them just overfeeding, not even overfeeding, with them just peppering Jackson Smith and Jigba because he's just that damn good. So why wouldn't you? So it's one of those things. We got to see how it falls. But I'm with you. If Cup's gone, I mean, I only have Horton in one league, and I'm really glad I have him in for the belt
Yeah.
because I'll be hanging on to him. We just added a flex spot even, and
Ugh,
maybe he
kill
could
me.
potentially slide into there some point next year.
Yep, yep. The injury kind of
Yeah.
ruined some trajectory on him, but I feel like it was pretty clear that he was trusted in a big way, and it's got a lot of potential going forward. So
hmm Um, yeah, I mean that's everybody else has too many question marks to me. I mean, if we look at the tight ends, like Harold
yep,
Fannin, like you said, we tend to pick one guy every year that we overthink and fumble
yeah,
it. That
of
was Fannin.
course,
We were all over him
yeah.
pre-draft, and then he goes to the Browns, and we
We
say,
got
"Oh,
Njoku, dude. We got scared.
yep,
Yeah.
got scared of Njoku, got scared of a terrible offense." So, but I think I mean, he proved he'll be great. Tyler Warren, I think people. It sucks that his season didn't end as strong as it started, but I mean that has a
Hmm.
lot to do with the Daniel Jones injury,
Right.
and just them not knowing really what to do anymore on offense. But he'll be great. And then yeah, Colson Loveland, a guy we didn't like as much, really, really came alive there towards the end. He was hard to put down, and it got to the point where every time I saw him against me on a matchup, I was worried. So
He's coming for you personally, man.
yeah,
Yeah, he really he outdid Cole Kmet quite a bit,
hmm
about 25 more targets and about double the yards and more than double on the score. So
yeah.
that's I mean, whatever. I'll call that whatever. I wouldn't say that's a miss on our part. We're just you got to call your shots the way you see them, man. You can't
That's true.
if you're
Can't
aiming for
fib it.
being correct, you'd be silent, I think. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Um, Go ahead.
I was just going to agree with Warren. He does seem like a superstar in the making. Definitely a guy that, I mean, I don't think you could probably lift him for too affordably, but if you can squeeze in there and pick him up, I think that's probably definitely worth it. I mean, he was only 3 targets shy of what Michael Pittman was doing, so it's a pretty
Yeah.
aggressive rookie season for a tight end.
Yeah, they obviously want to use him as the focal point of their offense. Their offense just got away from them and they lost six straight games. Like sometimes
Hmm.
that happens. What are you gonna do? I had I had three sleeper tight ends, and Gadsden was good, and that was
Yep.
fun. But Terrence Ferguson and Elijah Arroyo, I wanted
Yep.
to talk about. Arroyo, I'm more worried about. He just kind of never really got going on a team that I thought was ripe for a new tight end, and they kind of proved me wrong, and Arroyo never popped. And Ferguson never really popped either, but when he was on the field, he did get targets, and I feel like you could tell they want to use him going forward at some point. Just with Parkinson there, and I'm blanking on the other tight end that they used a lot um, in LA, but whatever.
I could have said his name until you started talking about him.
That's fair. There's three tight ends there,
They
and
got, yeah, Higby and then
it,
even Davis Allen.
yeah. So there was just a lot of bodies there. But Ferguson, I mean, he caught a couple touchdowns. He looked the part, and I do think he could be a slow burn and a buy low, or even pick up on waivers going forward. Because I just there was something about the way he looked on the field and the way it seemed like anytime he was on the field, he did get a target. So
Yeah, no, he was involved, and especially he had some good red zone involvement too. I don't know
mhm.
what the deal is with the Parkinson deal. I mean, he had 6 scores and 50 targets, and I mean, it kind of out of nowhere, I didn't really, he doesn't
Yeah,
have much of a history of anything like this. So whatever they want to do is fine. But I think Ferguson, you're probably right, gravitate towards him.
I think so too. I'd still stash Arroyo if you have him, especially in deeper leagues, because I mean the profile and the physicality or whatever you want to call it that he can play with is intriguing, but it just sucked to not see him get involved on a team that was dicing people up there for a while.
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit like the Kyle Williams thing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
for
New
sure.
England,
Hmm.
but
But I know you had some ADP versus reality stuff. I didn't know if you wanted to run through that for some of these rookies. I kind of just broad stroked hit this, so.
yeah, I am actually having some technical difficulties on
Oh,
my end.
okay.
So my screen keeps flashing in and out, and this Excel document is all blacked out.
Oh
But
no. Okay.
all right, I'm gonna keep clicking. But
Well,
I
I
mean,
got
honestly, there's some big disappointments that were
yeah,
highlighted by it, and I think like Caleb Johnson, who we're not supposed to
huge.
talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge one. Jack Besh, I kind of mentioned him, and
Hmm.
Kyle Williams kind of represent big letdowns.
Yeah.
I can't be too mad about Travis Hunter, although I think I saw enough to kind of, I don't know.
Be a little worried.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the points per game on him weren't horrible, but I think that I don't know. I don't know. 9 points per game is pretty solid, I guess, but I don't know, man. I don't trust Jacksonville, and I'm not gonna start doing it today, in this moment. But as far as like guys that outdid their draft capital, we gotta talk a little bit about Monongai. I know you already brought
Hmm.
him up, but I don't know. I think that this one's kind of hard to predict. It was hard to trust it because him and Swift were kind of like switching back and forth, and I know there were some mild injuries for both of them.
Oh, well, we just lost you.
Were you, what the fuck? Were you able to hear me?
No, not that whole time.
Okay. Yeah, I was on one. I was talking about Tyler Shuck and I was
Oh
going
shit.
deep, dude. I was getting after it.
Well, if you remember, the last thing I heard was Monangai and Swift were switching in and out, and they were dealing with some injuries, and that was it. That's the last thing I heard.
No shit.
Yeah.
That sucks. I went, yeah, you didn't hear any of the Tez Johnson stuff.
Uh-uh.
Damn.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I told you I was having some technical
Yeah.
difficulties, but I got fucking weird. All right, I'm over it. All right. Stupid ass computers, man. I was like, he isn't saying anything back. I, I was really going, I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna stay committed in
You're
case
just
he's just listening.
yeah.
But
Damn. Sorry, brother.
you're good. Yeah, well, okay, I got a little bit of time here, so I guess we'll just call whatever I was saying good and just kind of hit the running backs real quick and then a little bit of quarterback talk. Is that all right
Sure.
with you?
Yeah, we can do that.
Are we recording? I can't even tell
Yeah, no,
anymore.
it's still recording.
Oh Jesus. All right, man. I'm flustered. I hate it when computers start acting like assholes.
You're fine, no worries.
But okay. So yeah, I do think Kyle Monongai has a lot of potential going forward.
Mm.
As far as the ADP versus reality conversation, really there was some good stuff going on with the Tennessee wideouts we already talked about. Tez Johnson had a few pretty awesome games, but we kind of saw that got washed out once Godwin and Evans were back, and even McMillan came back and was featured heavily. So I wouldn't count on anything going forward from him. I
Hmm.
do think the Saints are going to be pretty happy with Tyler Shuck, even
Yeah.
if he's like a stopgap. Um, I picked him up in for the belt, and I was like, I need some depth because I got Stroud and Burrow, and so you never know
Yeah.
what's going to happen. It's nice to have a third guy. And I'm looking at him like, this dude is 2 years older than CJ Stroud. Like, what the hell is going on right now?
It is
Um,
wild.
but it was, I mean, he was doing stuff. He was making Chris Olave
Yeah.
a featured man.
Super
So,
viable. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm here for that. He can keep playing as long as he's going to do that. But
for sure. Yeah.
look for them to regroup as far as the running back room goes going forward. I don't know if Devin Neal is it. So
Mm. I
let's,
I gotta still hold out hope for Kendre Miller, I guess. Maybe
you ought
I'll
to.
die on that hill someday. Um, I'm with you. Tyler Shuck was really interesting. I mean, like the Saints, I mean, they were too good. They're too good. to pick a quarterback early, so they're going to be rolling out Shuck again. So it'll be
Hmm.
interesting to see 1 year under his belt, but 1 year closer to retirement as well for him.
For
But
sure, dude. Halfway
uh,
through his career in his rookie year.
yeah, but yeah, no, you're right. I mean, he made. I mean, I was kind of low on Olave coming into the year, and I have two shares of him, and I won a championship with one, and made it to the first round bye with another, and largely due to Chris Olave. So I'm with you, Tyler Shuck. Stay in, throw the ball. I'm less interested in Kyle Monangai. I just, with all the smoke that there was that Ben Johnson wanted Ashton Genty. I just feel like they're gonna want a reliable stud back there, and I feel like Monangai is gonna get Algiered as well. Mentioning what we
Oh,
did, what we did with Woody Marks. I
yeah,
could be wrong, obviously. I just think it's the draft capital and maybe my prejudice of my initial reading on Monangai, but he has been good. I just think they are gonna at least. I feel like Swift is gonna get replaced. I would imagine, and you would
sure.
think they're gonna try to upgrade over Swift, not just a lateral move. So we'll see what happens there. I know there was some smoke, or at least fan smoke, of like Brees Hall coming in. So maybe something like that could happen, which to me would immediately make Monangai irrelevant.
That'd be
But
crazy.
we'll see going forward. But this is you're talking about a guy that had Jahmyr Gibbs
Hmm.
as the focal point of his offense. So I just
Well, yeah.
well, I don't know. We'll see. That's just my feelings on that one. And then yeah, like Tez Johnson, you mentioned, I think he's pretty much a wash once McMillan is back and fully healthy.
Yeah, and dang, you said something that's got me on a different tangent now.
Uh-oh.
Looking at the draft order because you're saying that Mononga is going to get the Tyler Algier treatment, but Bijan wasn't going that late. The Bears aren't going to be able to
For
take the
sure.
top guy.
I don't
But
well, I don't know. First of all, I don't know that Jeremiah Love, presumably the top running back off the board, is going to go in the top 10.
right,
And then also, even if it's not, oh, they get replaced with Bijan, I just think he gets replaced. Is more when I say Tyler Algier treatment, I mean a rookie that comes in and does well, but then is still immediately replaced. I mean, Algier
yeah,
had 1,000 yards and and like 10 touchdowns or something, and then immediately got replaced with Bijan. Now, obviously, there's no Bijans in this draft,
no.
but I just think I don't see the future in Monangai personally.
I think yeah. So what you've inspired in me is a another player in this class that I don't see the future in necessarily, and that's Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of like I was thinking, like guys who are going to get, Algiered here, and he kind of hit the top of my list. Um, because yeah, he's got 776 yards and eight touchdowns, but damn, dude, if I'm just still not impressed by the guy,
Yeah.
it's going to take a lot to get me excited about him. I know he's kind of coming on strong here. That's just his last game, but it was the Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people have had good little rushing games against the Dallas. So
Mhm.
anyway, I'll just leave it at that. Bill, good luck to you, pal.
Good luck,
What?
Bill. No, I'm with you on that train as well. He's another guy that if I think I already traded my only share of him, but if I had him, I would be looking to trade him as well. Um, well, I know you got to get out of here, man. Got to
Yeah.
pick up some kiddos, so I guess that's a good enough stopping point as any. We are gonna get into some future topics here soon. With congrats to anybody that won their championship, but
Yep.
it's already
Yes.
time to move on. We got to
Yep.
start looking at 2026 now. So, but until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody. Enjoy the college playoffs.
Hey.
I took a lease